Hi everyone, I'm David Griffin.
And I'm Michael Medina.
We're going to bring you this week's review of Arrow Season 2, Episode 18, Deathstroke. Taking it up a notch.
A little bit.
From last week, from the Birds of Prey. Getting the ladies a little time to shine. Love the ladies. Got a lot of ladies in this episode too.
We do.
But you got to give the ladies something a little more interesting to do. And this week we got it in the form of Deathstroke. We got Deathstroke. Got a lot of Manu Bennett. Still didn't get that ultimate showdown. That's probably going to happen in the finale.
We've got, about 5-6 more episodes?
5-6 episodes of break.
So,
probably at least 3 more breaks throughout the season. So this could be, we might not get done with this till September. No, who knows? But this episode was great. Deathstroke started off. Let's see, where should we go to begin?
Yeah,
so much stuff. Let's go with maybe. Well, I don't want to call it the weaker part, maybe the less interesting part of this episode. Maybe let's talk about the island flashbacks. Again, this episode was awesome. I'm not trying to say this is a great episode, but the island stuff, wasn't as intricate, even though it was. It didn't have the same importance as some other weeks.
Yeah, I felt like everything of importance was really happening present day.
Right.
Yeah.
I almost for the first time in a while, I wanted more present day and less island.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because all that really set up was the whole the little swap between Oliver and Hendrik. My favorite part was when we finally see Deathstroke kind of go lose it in the flashback when he starts seeing Shadow.
Right.
And she's kind of telling him what to say.
Yeah, he is crazy. He is crazy. So I'm sure a lot of you are interested in talking about. I'm sure there's going to be theories galore. It already has been. My girl, Summer Glau, has finally come back to the show. I'm going to talk about her again. Now it's irrelevant. Summer Glau was here. So she's going to play a big role in the end, it looks like. I'm assuming we're going to see her probably every episode till the end, I hope. I'd
imagine. Well, it seemed like this episode, again, and I loved it as well.
Yeah.
I thought that this was a good setup for the remaining episodes, 5-6 episodes left or whatnot. And she was good in this. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, good things come to those who wait, I guess.
Right.
We
got to see her. Now here come all the theories. Of course, she is a character from the comic books. But so is, Laurel, maybe should be Black Canary if we're going by comic book lore.
Yeah.
This is DC, Marvel. They comic books mix things up. Nothing's ever the same. It's TV. We're going to mix things up a little bit. So she did this whole Sins of the Father reference with Oliver. Whole, you should know who I am. I'm surprised you know who I am. The whole Sins of the Father. Now, does that mean that her father is Deathstroke? Or is her father Oliver's father?
Yeah.
Is that her half-sister, which would be weird because of other, encounters that they've had. So, there's a lot of different ways that could go.
Yeah, and I know, you had mentioned it, and it's true. She seems like she would be a little too old to be Deathstroke's daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
she's a grown woman, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But nonetheless, I thought that scene was interesting. The scene when she kind of reveals herself to Oliver. Because this scene was really all about the action scene.
Yeah.
This whole entire episode, really, was all about, the fight choreography, which I thought was
great.
Top notch for this, and I think they do a really good job week in, week out. But this was just really fight heavy, and they did a phenomenal job with that.
Well, I think Summer Glau does some gymnastics and stuff anyway. She's pretty limber in that way. So it was cool to see her fight. I'm not sure how many of her stunts that she did, but it was cool to see her fight when Oliver stormed the warehouse trying to find Slade. There's a lot of good moments in here. So seeing Summer Glau back was great.
And let's not forget, there still is the whole Talia al Ghul. Can't forget about that.
Yeah, is she Talia al Ghul?
That's still a possibility.
Maybe not. Will Nisa come back? Are we going to see Nisa before the end of the season? I hope we see her again. Man, so much to go on. This episode is all over the place. What about Roy?
I was going to say.
Roy's gone.
He's going rogue, I guess.
Right.
We finally get to see a little bit of him training with his bow and arrow, whatever, and that is what it is. But we see him kind of just fall off the deep end in this episode, and justifiably so, with Thea being kidnapped, and everybody just starts kind of losing it. But Roy, especially with the Mirakuru and everything, kind of flowing through his veins.
He attacks poor Diggle.
Poor
Diggle's just trying to sit there in his suit, looking good.
Diggle's not trying to hurt anybody.
Yeah,
he's not trying to do much.
Yeah, Diggle just wants to just lay back. Why you got to pick on poor Diggle? But the question is, this is looking ahead, is what's going to happen with Roy. We see him driving. For those of you who watch the TV live, you watch on the CW network, wherever you watch it around the world. And when the trailer looks like Roy's on an operating table, possibly, maybe he's going somewhere to get this out of him because he's fearing his control. I think this episode confirms that he's going to be more going towards Arsenal first instead of Red Arrow because he's got too many issues. I don't think he can become Red Arrow.
And that's the thing. I can't see his character wanting to get rid of the Mirakuru. If anything, I'd see him embracing it, maybe wanting to more of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But one of the things I really liked about this episode was just how Deathstroke really just screws with Oliver.
And it's not the way you think.
No.
There's no torture, no beating anybody up, no punching anybody, yeah.
He's like this cerebral assassin.
Right.
Like he just attacks,
right.
you know, his sister, his loved ones, which he said he would do.
Yep.
You know.
But not the way we thought. We thought maybe he'd try to kill people. He's not killed anybody. Yeah.
No, he hasn't done anything.
No,
you know?
I mean, he just walked in, he said, Oliver is Arrow. Boom.
Drops
done.
the mic.
Yeah, drops the mic, right.
And he's gone.
Done. End episode. Yeah, done. I mean.
But I really liked, and this is one of the things, like I know, you know, with his buddy Tommy dying in season 1, that was one of those moments, you know, that every superhero has to have, you know, that
Somebody's
tragedy
die,
and
right,
everything.
right.
But I always felt that there's still more, because we have to, like I said before, remember that this is still early in his career as Arrow. So he's still
There's
kind of
still more on
learning.
the island we haven't seen
Absolutely.
yet either.
Absolutely. So the fact that like he's really getting attacked now in a way that he himself, even with all the training, everything he's been through on the island, he has no defense for.
No.
He doesn't know how to combat this because Deathstroke or Slade keeps beating him at every single angle. And I love seeing him just completely just like hands in the air, like I have no idea what to do.
Right, he's just doing subtle things. He just goes to Laurel's house and says, hey, by the way, Oliver is Arrow. And that's it, just walks away. Like, I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm not gonna like poison you, that's it. And then, you know, we can't forget about Moira and her, you know, mayoral race, which some of you think is a little ridiculous.
I agree, I'm one of them.
But I don't mind it when at least we get to see Kevin Alejandro as Brother Blood.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him back. He's a really good character. I like
really
him.
is,
And you can see that he really is just a pawn.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like, you promised me I would be married. He's just kind of whining to Deathstroke. He's like, I promised you nothing. You get what I say you get. I mean, Deathstroke put him in his place.
Pretty much. He's playing everybody now.
Right, and you can see now that, especially from that scene, that Summer Glau's character is, you know, more Deathstroke's right-hand woman, let's say, as opposed to Kevin Alejandro. She's like, huh, what, he didn't tell you? Like, she knows everything, and she can fight.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can't wait to see what her reveal. Of course, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of theories in the comments. Let's see what else. Deathstroke now has an army.
Yeah, building his army, his henchmen. You know, well, they did say they want to try to replicate the Mirakuru.
Yep.
You know, so my guess is obviously he's going to try to build this, you know, super soldier army.
And using, you know, Summer Glau to take over.
Yeah.
Of course, it's all about, just like Batman, just like Christopher Nolan shows you, it's all about the applied sciences division. If any of you want to own a company, make sure you get control of that applied sciences. So now they can start manufacturing the Mirakuru on a larger scale. So that's also something that's going on later.
Yeah. I'm wondering, too, if we're going to get a chance to see Cyrus. You know, see Solomon Grundy again.
Yeah, because all that little, like, you know, stuff got in his face and it was all, you know, messing with acid or whatever.
So I feel like at some point we got to see him. I would imagine he's got to tie into this as well.
Right. I mean, there's just so much going on in this episode. I mean, let's think of Thea. Like, what's going to happen to Thea now? I mean, she's emotionally a wreck.
Yeah,
you know, and she's got some. I mean, what's her name? What's his name? Broke up with her.
Yep.
Slade
says, you know, he's got a secret to tell her, which, you know,
we thought it was going to be his identity.
Exactly.
On Arrow,
exactly. Kind of flipped it on us. Played us as well.
Right.
You know, but no, I like that. Like, she's completely broken down. You know what I mean? And like that whole family at this point really is a wreck, even down to Moira, who's now winning in the polls.
Which is funny. And also, Oliver and Moira's relationship kind of got back together.
Absolutely.
Only to now be broken by, you know, Deathstroke, Slade's just, you know, manipulation of the family. So, I mean, there's so many good things. This has really been a great season. Couple weak episodes. We can look back to 22-episode season. You're going to have some weak things. You know, of course, you know.
We also have Laurel's dad, you know, who's now arrested for helping this vigilante.
I always forget about the one cop in the whole city. the one cop. They got the one reporter. The guy does the news, and he was the moderator during the whole debate. You know, they got like one reporter. Got to keep it small budget for the CW.
But you know what though, I will say, like I like her dad. You know, he's kind
cool
of
guy.
It's unintentionally like comic relief for me.
Right.
When it's like, I'm just a cop.
Yeah, I'm just a cop. Right in his accent.
But I like him though, so I'm intrigued. You know, and I'd like to see, again, not a lot of Laurel fans out there, but I'd like to see how she's gonna play in this because now she knows about Oliver. And in the trailer for next week, or a couple weeks from now, you see her kind of like a quick glimpse of her like looking at a wall. She's looking at some stuff. Maybe she's finally trying to like piece some puzzles together and figure out like, how was I an idiot? Is this true? Is he lying? Is this true? Is Oliver the Arrow? So,
because remember, once you let the darkness in, you can't let it out. You know, you can't let it out. It's all that ominous stuff. I think she's going to go a little dark side. Somebody actually said she's going to be Darkseid. I think that maybe is a little bit extreme. I don't think Smallville did Darkseid as best they could. I don't think we're going to see Darkseid, even though Darkseid is an awesome character. Can't remember who pointed that out, but thank you for mentioning Darkseid. So many good things to come. We have to wait. Sadly, this is network television. This is not HBO. We'd have to wait another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Another break, folks.
But then they're finishing strong.
Yeah, 5 straight, I believe, until episode 23. I think the next episode's called Man Behind the Mask, or
Man Under the Hood.
Man Under the Hood. Yes, there's too many masks and hoods going on. So I think it's going to be great. Another great episode this week. I want to know what you thought. Of course, there's always stuff that Mike and I are going to miss. We can't talk about everything. There's too much stuff to talk about. Let us know your theories about everything. Who do you think Summer Glau's character is? Who's her daddy? Let us know.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? So you can come find us at thinkhero.com. We also have this YouTube page here at Think Hero Pro. Be sure to subscribe, like, to go ahead, and that would help us out a lot. We're also on Twitter. We can talk to Michael, Dennis, or myself about all of our theories on Arrow and what we like. Other CW shows, like watching The 100, The Tomorrow People, any of those shows. We're at Think Hero. I'm at Griffin DE.
And I'm at Mr. Michael Alexis.
We also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. Be sure to use social media, spread the word. All great things Arrow. We got to wait 2 weeks. Let's get the conversations going in the comments. Let's talk about it for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks.